So, as you know, one of our guests on tonight's show is DJ Wyntre Mysteria. I was Facebook friends with him for quite a while before getting to know him and had been hearing about him from mutual friends like Novelli. And it took a pandemic for us to get to know each other and start working together. Wyntre Mysteria and I and about eight other DJs formed a collective called ARG, Anti-Racist Goths. And a few months ago, we did a 24-hour live stream benefit for Black Lives Matter. And Wyntre Mysteria's participation in that event was impactful for me for a couple of reasons, which I'll get into a little bit later. But first, before his second set on the show, let's go ahead and talk to him and get to know him a little bit better. DJ Wyntre Mysteria joining us from San Diego. Welcome to New Music Mondays.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for your sets. I always enjoy seeing you spin. It's a real experience. It's not just sitting there watching somebody play music. Your sets are emotional and meaningful, and you introduce me to new music all the time, and I just couldn't ask for more. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm interested in talking about a few different things with you tonight. One of them is how you discovered that music was something that you, really connected with as more than just sort of like a passing form of entertainment.
Oh boy. So I can't really say that, music was like a huge part of my life when I was a child. I hear so many DJs, so many people talking about how, their mother introduced them to music, or their father was a punk, or their mom was goth in the 90s. Like, I hear so much of that. And I can't really say that I had that experience. Growing up, my favorite music was Shania Twain, Celine Dion, and Madonna. and so here we are. But I'd say really discovering goth music when I was I want to say I was probably 14 or 15, going into Hot Topic and finding the Project record compilations. And, I had already been introduced to Bauhaus and Susie and The Cure and all those bands, but really finding those Project compilations and Black Tape for a Blue Girl and Lycia and Unto Ashes, more Syphilitica. Oh my God, that really changed me. That changed my outlook on music. And then I want to say it was probably around that time that I found Dead Can Dance. And, back then, the internet really, it was up and coming. It wasn't, like it is today. So, you had to really, really search for music, and it was just a little bit difficult. And so when I found Dead Can Dance, I mean, holy crap. I mean, they just totally did it for me. And I've been in love with them ever since. And I want to say it was Dead Can Dance along with the Project record stuff and some of the early 4AD stuff that really kind of made me fall in love with the music. And then from there, it just, I started discovering other bands, and then I just started discovering like all the 90s goth stuff, and it's just fantastic.
When did you discover or figure out that you wanted to become a DJ?
So that happened when I was probably 18 or 19. A friend had, my friend Kelly Day, who lives in Maryland, she contacted me and asked me if I wanted to guest DJ the final night, the closing night of one of her club nights called Ascension in Baltimore. And it was just me and her DJing. And I said, sure, of course, and I think I might have lied to her, which I feel a little bit, I'm sorry, Kelly Day. I think I might have told her, oh, I've DJ'd before, no problem. the reality is, so I get there and I'm like, oh, I have no clue what I'm doing. And I came there and I had all my CDs. I mean, we're talking like luggages of CDs, because this is before laptop DJing was a thing. And so I think she ended up getting a little bit tipsy because I ended up DJing the whole night. And it was my first time DJing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have no clue what I'm doing. I hope nothing goes wrong. Luckily, it was fabulous. It was a great night. I had a lot of fun and nothing went wrong. And that was kind of the beginning. But of course, being so young, a lot of the club nights were 21 and up. And so I think I might have done one other night after that. But when I turned 21 was when like my DJ career really took off. But yeah, it you know, it was that one night at Ascension that really changed.
Yeah, yeah. That first time that you make people dance, you're like, wow, I like this,
Well,
right?
yeah, and it was just like, you know, playing all the music that I was like really, you know, really into. And of course, being kind of young like that, you kind of think, ooh, you know, nobody's gonna know Black Tape for a Blue Girl. Nobody's gonna know that I'm the only one that knows that. And playing it and seeing people sing to the music and twirling, it was like, oh my gosh, I
Right.
feel like this is great.
Yeah, it's a community. Yeah, absolutely. So then you moved to San Diego, and did you start the Catacomb Club?
Yeah, so I moved to San Diego about 2.5 years ago. And um, before I moved to San Diego, I had kind of taken a little break from the goth scene. I kind of took a step back to really focus on my spirituality and hone that, and kind of just put all of my attention into that. And I'm very thankful I did. So moving to San Diego, I kind of started, you know, tiptoeing back into the scene and meeting a lot of people, going to the clubs again. And then I started guest DJing, and it was kind of like I'd never stopped. You know, the first time I DJed here in San Diego, it was like I just DJed yesterday. It was like nothing had changed. And yeah, I started Catacomb about a year ago, and it was with a friend who does a club night here called Blue Monday. Her name was Camilla, DJ Camilla, and her and I started Catacomb, and then I kind of just took it from there. And yeah, Catacomb is my baby, and will always be my baby.
Yeah, and you do it online now, usually once a month. I think you said you skipped September, but
Yeah, so I skipped September. Catacomb is monthly, and it's always been monthly since it started.
Mhm.
But doing it online, it's like, you know, we all kind of have flexibility. And um, I tried when I first started doing Catacomb, I did do it on the third Fridays. I was following the schedule as if it was in person. But then the more people started doing live streaming, and you know, it's just now it's kind of whenever I feel is a good time in the month, because I don't want to step on other people's toes. You know, and I'm always got my feelers out, seeing kind of what other DJs are doing.
Yeah, yeah. So, congratulations on the event that you did on the 8th called Baraka, which was a
Thank you.
9-hour long benefit for your partner,
Yes,
for the San Diego Blood Bank, and for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Um, Seemed like it was a great success. I was able to tune in for
absolutely.
a lot of it, and it was really, really fun and awesome. You and I have an event coming up on January 1st, which I've verbally announced on this show, but haven't actually, we're not quite ready yet to make an event page on Facebook and everything, but that's going to be
Yes.
a 13-hour event with DJs and bands from around the world to benefit various anti-racist organizations. And you and I met through this same collective,
Yep.
ARG, a few months ago. And, you know, I was the primary organizer of that first event, and it was difficult. It was a learning experience. I went through a couple of pretty difficult situations that you helped talk me through. You just knew the right things to say, and you understood where I was coming from, and it really helped me through it. And then I've since confirmed with other people, because you know, we have some mutual friends in common, that's you, that's your personality. You're able to do that for people. And so I really appreciate that. You know, we are all, as a society, going through such a frightening and dangerous time right now, with obviously a deadly pandemic. We've got a federal administration that doesn't care if we live or die, and often seems like they would prefer for us to actually die. That's all really stressful, and I know you specifically are going through a particularly difficult time because your partner was just diagnosed with leukemia and is actually in the hospital for chemotherapy right now as we speak. So my thoughts are with him and both of you.
Thank you.
So your coping skills must be on point right now, is what I'm guessing. Could you share with our viewers your perspective on coping with these difficult circumstances that we're all finding ourselves in?
So, I mean, it's a kind of a heavy question. It's kind of a heavy thing. It's hard. My coping skills, what you see on camera is a little bit different from behind the scenes, because sometimes, you know, I do lose my shit. I do cry. Like when I found out that, you know, my partner had leukemia, one of my rings punched a hole in the floor. I mean, we all, I think that it's about having, being able to just be real with yourself, you know, and because I think that if you put a mask on, if you put up a fake front, that's not going to help anything. And you're just kind of, things are building up inside of you. And, you know, stop acting like everything is okay. You know, if things are not, like, do something about it, you know, create something beautiful, channel that energy in some kind of a way. You know, I don't expect people to cope with things how I cope with things, because I always include spirituality and how I cope with things, how I handle things. And so I know that I know that there's some people that are not spiritual, that are not, you know, that's just not their thing. And so I think the best advice is to kind of be real with yourself, be able to channel your feelings in some kind of a way, stop hiding your feelings, and be honest with yourself and be honest with everybody. And, you know, it's okay to be vocal about how you feel. It's okay to be vocal about how you feel, what your opinion is about something. That's like a huge thing that, you know, I feel kind of took San Diego by surprise with me, is my mouth, because I'm very vocal about things. I'm very upfront. And I think that that is the best coping mechanism, is to be honest, be open, you know, because without communication, there will never be healing. Without honesty and truth, there will never, you're not going to ever heal. No healing is going to come out of that. On a spiritual side, connect to your ancestors, because in everything I was taught by elders and priests that are within my religious beliefs, your ancestors come before you, and your ancestors and your spirits are always around you all the time. And connecting with them, you don't have to curse people. You don't have to hex people unless you're Trump, because then you deserve every curse. You deserve every cow tongue. You deserve every sacrifice on your ass, unless you are him and his administration. Working with your ancestors, you don't have to curse. They'll take care of it. They'll protect you. You tell them, you're having a bad day. The important thing is focusing on yourself, focusing on yourself, making sure that you're okay, mind, body, and spirit, and cleansing yourself and being able to walk it out into the world, walk out your front door and present yourself to the world in the most put together way possible.
Great advice. Yeah. The authenticity, being true to yourself really rings.
Absolutely. I see that all the time. And it's something that really needs to be addressed. It's something that really needs to be said. You see people getting bullied all the time for expressing their opinions, and as if you're not allowed to have an opinion in the world, as if you're
not allowed to have feelings right now.
Exactly.
They're waging a war on feelings, for God's sake.
Exactly.
So let's talk about any other events coming up. There's a bunch of stuff that a lot of us are participating in, and I'm not sure which ones you're participating in. What do you have coming up?
So I have your event coming up in January, and I'm currently working on something for this month. I'm currently working on a live stream called Incantation, and it is a witchcraft and pagan Gothic music themed event. So all the music played will have some kind of, witchy pagan kind of, tone to it. As far, non-event stuff that I'm working on, I've been working really hard to try to get my shop up and going, the Snake in the Moon Occult Botanica, and that was put on the back burner because of what was happening with my partner and the leukemia and everything. But I'm trying to pick that up, and I'm trying to hurry. And if anybody is watching from the live stream that I did in July, and you are a winner for the giveaway from my shop, I have not forgotten you. I promise. You will get the giveaway. I promise. I have your addresses. I have your names. You have not been forgotten. There's been a lot going on. And then I'm also in the early stages of writing a book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and the book is kind of my high school years and being persecuted as a witch in high school.
Okay, looking forward to that. That'll be good. So we will look for you. We'll look for Incantation. We'll look for the next Catacomb. I'll post the link for the Snake in the Moon, and looking forward to your book as well. And I will see you again in January.
Yeah, that sounds great. I look forward to it. I'm very excited for your event, and thank you so much for having me on your show. And I definitely look forward to working with you on this new event and more projects in the future.
Absolutely, me too. DJ Wyntre Mysteria from San Diego. Thank you so much for joining us on New Music Mondays. And here is his second set here on New Music Mondays with Davey Bones.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, hope you liked that video. If so, please like and subscribe to receive notifications when we upload more content. New Music Mondays is a live stream show every Monday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/DaveyBonesOakland. It features myself and a weekly guest DJ spinning new releases in the world of dark music, post-punk, goth, dark wave, as well as interviews with the people that make the music happen. So it's a lot of fun. Make sure to join us live. Again, that's every Monday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., or actually about 9:30 Pacific time. The audio will always be uploaded the next day to my Mixcloud page, mixcloud.com/DavyBonesOakland. And thanks for watching the video on YouTube. The interviews will all be uploaded to the YouTube channel, as well as an occasional kind of behind the scenes video as well. All right. Thanks again.